Welcome to another episode of the Ohio High School Film Room. In this episode, I have George Mangas of Lima Shawnee High School. George, thank you for joining the film room with me.
Yep, no problem.
George, you weren't the quickest or most athletic player on the court, but you really do a nice job of getting to the rim, and really you pick your spots to drive really well. What are some things that you kind of look for when attacking the basket? Because you're not going to blow by many people with your speed, but you do a nice job of using angles and getting to the basket without getting your shot blocked.
I think it's just me and my teammates just find me the ball on time. And then once I get just one step, I feel like I can just really just use my body more and just push them off. And then I think I'm a really good finisher. So even if I'm not blowing by you, I can still kind of shoot over you and still get a good layup in. And I think that helped a lot with my finishing ability.
Yeah, and you mentioned your finishing ability. You shot an absurd 74% from 2-point range last season. Have you always been like a really efficient player? Because those sort of numbers are really ridiculous for a guy averaging over 29 points a game.
I think it just happened this year, to be honest. My sophomore year, I was like a pretty good 2-point field goal percentage. I think it was like in 50s, but it wasn't anything like that. But I think it was just always being at the right time, at the right place, and always finding the ball. And I think a lot of it is when I move without the ball.
And then
And
you
then people find me underneath the basket a lot.
Yeah, and then you did a nice job even against more athletic teams like Lima Senior. We got some clips here of you getting to the bucket and finishing, even though you're not blowing by the guys, but you're using your length and you're not getting your shot blocked, which is really important. As a wing player, you're not really bringing the basketball up the court very often, and you're really relying on your teammates to find you and get buckets. I think your off-ball movement is exceptional. But what is it like playing for a Lima Shawnee team that really does move the ball well and also is able to take advantage of your off-ball movement and get you the ball in easy positions to score?
Um, that's what we like to stress all the time is ball movement and always move without the ball, setting off screens, and it's constantly moving around. I feel like anybody could really kind of do it, but it just happened to be me. And, they just picked up on it, and they just knew that I could really move without the ball well. And once they knew that, I could just pick my spots. It was just really, really easy for us to score, and that's just what led to our success.
What are you kind of looking to take advantage of when you are off ball against a defender? Are you kind of waiting for him to maybe fall asleep and picking your spots when to cut? Because I feel like a bunch of baskets of yours, you look at it and you're like, oh man, like the defender should have been there. But it happens so often that it's not a coincidence. Like you are creating that problem. So what's the biggest thing for you off ball, getting ready to score and take advantage of the defender, maybe not always being locked in on you?
I feel like I wait for if my teammate's at the top of the key and I'm at the corner, maybe wait for my teammate to penetrate. And then once I catch my defender napping or trying to help, then that's when I'll make my move, and he'll kind of forget about me. And I think I got a lot of scores on that baseline because, I just try to go underneath the defense, and if their head's not moving, then I can just catch them sleeping and just go right underneath them. And that's why I got a lot of baseline layups, like over Dante, like you said, and just reverse layups and all that. So I just try to choose when they don't really pay attention on defense, to be honest.
In these clips here, we have a couple of plays of them looking for you on the block in the post, and also a couple out of bounds plays. In these plays that are kind of designed for you, what are you really looking to do with the basketball to get yourself open, especially on these out of bounds plays? Because these are kind of designed for you to get easy buckets, and you guys do, your team Lima Shawnee does a nice job of executing on baseline out of bounds plays, which really doesn't happen much in high school basketball.
Yeah, I feel like the plays we run are pretty simple, but they're effective. And all I do is I just try to make cuts all the time and then back screen. And then I have a really good screener in Tyson. He's just a big body, and that's what gets me open a lot. And when you have somebody like that that can do that for you all the time, it's not going to be hard to get open. And once you are, you just right underneath the basket, and then you just power up layup or pump fake or whatever you got to do to get open.
Now, George, I did mention that you do a really nice job of picking your spots and getting to the hoop, but some of these you just struggle to finish the ball. Couple of these plays I want to highlight. The first one against Ben Westrick, where you're driving to the middle with your left hand. You go up with your right on kind of an awkward floater. That's just one play that I thought you maybe should have went up with the left hand. And then a couple of these plays against Lima Senior, you have a little bit of difficulty scoring over their length. Looking back at these plays, what do you kind of gather from, especially the plays against Lima Senior, where you're taking some tough shots over contested length?
I think some of it was nerves. It was a big game, and maybe I wasn't as settled as I needed to be early on. And I feel like if I just picked my spots better and just passed it more and moved the ball around instead of trying to kind of force things sometimes, I felt like I was doing just because I wanted to win so bad. But looking back at it, I know that I can play better and know what I have to do next time once we play them next year. So it'll be good.
You had a nice game. I think like 37 points on okay efficiency. I know it's like the floater. You had a couple misses in here. Is that a shot you're trying to work on? Because that's not something I saw you make very often, but we got like 3 or 4 clips of you kind of just leaving the floater short on here. Is that something you're trying to add to your game?
Yeah, it can be, especially against taller people because, if you drive in, try to do layup, it's easier for them to block. Floater, it's a harder shot to block. And that's probably why I did that floater against Ben, because I didn't know if I would go for layup, he would block me since he's 6'7". So it's definitely something I will want to add to my game to make me a better scorer and better all-around player.
In these clips, we have a bunch of spot-up three-pointers from you. It seems like you really do have the green light to shoot the basketball from the outside. Is that something that your coach kind of stresses to you, to have the confidence to shoot the three-pointer? You made 6 three-pointers in the game against in the district championship game where they ran a zone most of the time. So that obviously helped open up your outside shooting ability.
Yeah, I'm definitely – if I'm open, he's going to stress me to shoot it because, I can't always drive because that'll get picked up on that a lot. But my shots definitely progressed over the years, and once I'm open, I feel like once I get into good rhythm, I can knock them down pretty consistently. And I wasn't as good in the beginning of the year. I usually not much at the beginning of the year, but I always come on towards the end just to get my shot more in custom. And when I'm open, I'm going to let it fly.
Now, George, going back to that district final game where you did make 6 three-pointers, we see some clips of your team at Lima Shawnee setting you screens against the zone defense to get you open. Is that something within your zone offense that you guys were looking to do, to set screens to get you open from three-point range?
Yeah, I think it's more effective if we screen because it opens more people up. And, I think if we don't screen and just try to staying around the perimeter and have one guy in, it's kind of what they want us to do. But if we screen, it kind of messes up their zone a little bit and creates more openings for us to shoot threes and get the ball in the middle and just kind of pick apart their defense. And that's what we try to do, and it worked effectively. And that's probably how I made 6 threes, to be honest.
Yeah, and then I don't want to overreact to 2 3-point attempts, but you really kind of botched these 2 attempts against Otto Glandorf and Lima Senior coming off a screen. Are those just poor shot selections? Because I do see you make off the dribble 3-pointers. We'll discuss that next. Is that just you taking poor shots in these 2 cases?
Probably, yeah. Probably shouldn't have took them, but I did, and that's that basically.
You're not only just a spot-up 3-point shooter or a guy who's running off the screens. You did show the ability to create your own shot for yourself and knock down pull-up 3-pointers. Would you say that is kind of an underrated part of your game, your ability to create your own shot from like a pull-up jumper and like doing different crossover moves to create space for yourself?
Yeah, I think most people – I didn't do it a lot, but I think if I can have the ball, I can create my own shot. But most of my damage comes from me off the ball. But once I have it on the wing, I like the right wing a lot, and if I have it, I feel like if I'm cleared out, I can create my own space, maybe hit a step back jump shot or just take it all the way. But it's definitely something I'll work on more, is to create my own shot and make more moves off with the dribble than just always moving without the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice playing with a team that just has great ball movement and
Mm,
gets you a lot of open shots. But at the same time, I think it would be nice for you to get more of those on ball self creation reps, where most games you're just able to get a better shot without you doing 5 crossovers. You can get a better shot passing the ball. So that's just kind of something I would like to see more, but there's really no need for you to do it in the high school season because you guys move the ball so well. But one play that I really enjoyed was your step back 3-pointer on Josiah Fulcher. What was going through your mind in the middle of this move? Because he's tight up on you for about 3 seconds, and then you just hit him with a nice step back and bury the three kind of in his face.
I think I had the ball, and I looked over to our point guard, and he was guarding, and he kind of just looked at me like, you got to do something. So when I saw that, I was just like, all right, let me try to make a move here. And he stayed on me, and I tried to go crossover behind my back. And then I think I stepped in a little bit, and I saw the step back was there, shoved off him a little bit to create more space, and then just let it fly, and then nothing but net. So that's that.
Yeah, you didn't create a ton of space on that shot, which isn't great. But I mean, Josiah Fulcher, he was a senior last year, going to Bowling Green, probably going to be a nice impact MAC level guy. So you just scoring on the perimeter against him like that, while he was very engaged defensively, was really impressive. On these plays here, I really don't know how to explain it. It seems like when you need to make a play for your team, and this goes for anybody on your team, it seems like it just happens, whether it's a hustle play, stealing the ball, or saving the ball from diving out of bounds. What do you think is kind of the reason for that? It seems like you guys just have excellent culture, and everybody really does always go all out for you guys. And I think it's a big reason why you went undefeated along with your incredible talent on your entire team.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to be the talented one that scores. And I think everybody just knew their role really well and just bought into it. And, we needed hustle plays like that to just motivate ourselves more. And every loose ball, we felt like in those Lima Senior OG games would just help us win. And they really did, like saving the ball and then hitting this three. And then I think those plays kind of took the life out of took the life out of Lima Senior OG, because they could see that we just wanted it more. And that's kind of what just made us just rise up and just beat them.
Now, I wouldn't say passing is a strength of yours or one of your best skills, but you're definitely a capable passer. A couple of these plays, you do flash some nice passing ability, whether it's kicking it to the corner or on driving kicks. What is the biggest thing that you are looking for when distributing the ball to your teammates?
I think when I drive a lot, and I feel like once they double me, I always have somebody open. And there's usually a lot of the times when I drive baseline or I drive to the left and they double me, I always have a post like Bean. You saw a lot, like in the OG game. And then when Dante blocked it, he was always on that left block, and I could always just wrap around pass. And another one was the corners, hitting threes. And I feel like I'm kind of an underrated passer, but I just don't get to do it a lot because I'm always the one slashing and making layups. But, when my teammates are open, I'm going to find them.
George, on this first play here against OG, you get pushed to the baseline, and then the defender comes from the backside. Is that an area of you just needing to get rid of the ball quicker? When he kind of stopped you, you gave the ball a lot of room on the behind the back dribble, and the defender was able to poke it out from your handle.
Yeah, I think maybe getting rid of the ball sooner, and then me just not kind of realizing that maybe a trap's coming, and kind of being more careful with the ball would definitely help me. But yeah, if I get rid of the ball sooner, we can definitely get better shots, and that's kind of on me for that.
And then we see in the Lima senior game, you get trapped again, and you do a much better job of beating the pressure. I was a little surprised when you were able to get past the defense, but then you hit your teammate for a wide open 3-pointer. And then the other thing I want to highlight are these two kind of jump save passes. Is that just your like natural instincts as an athlete to kind of make that play? Because it worked to perfection once each in the OG and Lima senior game.
Yeah, I think I just saw my teammate was open, and I just wanted to get it to him quicker so he can get the layup off. And I think it was just kind of instinct, like you said, just getting the ball to him and just making a play out of it, and it worked twice. So, I didn't even know I had that. I just kind of tried it, and then it worked. So, yeah.
In these clips here, we see players taking charges on you that kind of don't want to keep going back to the point of you aren't the quickest player, but I do think it makes it easier for people to slide in because you're not going to be blowing past them with a sidestep. Is just avoiding charges something you're looking to improve on? Because it seems like when you're doing your straight line drives that you are so successful with, it can also hurt you. And when defenders are there and they're looking to take the charge, they can get you on that.
Yeah, something I work on. Use the Euro step more effectively, probably, or pass it sooner so that way I don't take a charge, get more assists. Just kind of move horizontally, like laterally, instead of trying to just always go straight would definitely help me better and not pick up stupid fouls like that.
For Lima Shawnee, you guys as a team play a solid amount of zone defense. When you're working in zone, whether that's one of the two guys up top or one of the guys on the wings, what are you really looking to do to get into passing lanes? Because there are times where you're able to get some nice steals on passes, which lead to some fast break opportunities.
We try to take away the paint middle most of the time, make them try to move the ball around up top. And once they get to the corner, deep corner, we like to trap. And then I'm usually at the top, so I'll move to the wing. And if they try to make a lazy pass to the wing or top, I can just kind of read where he wants to throw it. And if it's a bad pass, I'll try to tip it or get in the passing lanes, and just constant pressure just leads the bad passes, I think, and that's what worked for us a lot in the zone. Just always kind of coming after everybody and, try to get easy steals.
We already hit your zone defense, but at Lima Shawnee, you do mix in the man-to-man defense a decent amount. You guys didn't play a ton of really athletic guys throughout this year. I tried to do my best job of getting games where you would play more athletic competition, especially the Lima senior game. As an on-ball man-to-man defender going up against more athletic guys, you do it a lot in AAU for Northwest Ohio, going up against Indy Heat and other athletic guys. What are you kind of looking to do against people that maybe are more athletic and quicker than you?
I think it helps me a lot to go up against guys like that because it can make me quicker and make me more of a better defender. And I just try to, see if if they have a jump shot, you go give them a little bit of space, but I always try to make them stay in front of me and just really contest whenever they try to shoot and just stay with them as best as I can.
And you did a really nice job against Jameer Simpson. He catches the ball on the wing, and he's a lefty. He's not much of a shooter. He takes one jab, and you slide in really nicely to take a charge. Well, George, thank you so much for joining me in the film room. If you could just let the viewers know what your AAU situation is for the rest of the summer.
I have this last tournament in Fort Wayne, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And after that, I think AAU's done. And then we'll move on to fall workouts and then back to the season, hopefully, for Shawnee.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for joining me in the film room. Again, this is George Mangas. He plays AAU for Northwest Ohio and high school for Lima Shawnee. He is a 6'5" small forward in the class of 2021.